All right, so you had your show earlier today. How was it?
It was amazing, man. So good.
Yeah.
So many people. And we didn't know what to expect. And to see that many people out there, and a lot of them were singing the lyrics of the songs, which was surprising, and it was just awesome.
It was phenomenal. It was. We could see people in the beginning. I'm like, do they know who we are? And then when I saw people starting to sing words, and the crowd was like as far as I could see, and I could feel like it was like it turned into that like fire moment. We knew it was phenomenal.
Side note, one of my good friends here, she grabbed me afterwards like, did you see that? Did you see that? Did you hear whore? She was like, whoa, calm down, you're at a rock festival, what do you think you are? So you guys really adopted social media early on, MySpace and so forth, unlike maybe most bands here. None mentioned, none forgotten. Has that been an important thing?
Yeah. It really, in the beginning, she brought up MySpace, and we were one of those bands that was kind of at the very beginning of MySpace, and it really did help us get noticed and get our first record deal. And she was always talking about, we should do this MySpace thing then, and I got into adding friends and going to different metal band sites and adding their friends from the comments, and we saw it blossoming, and then we got a record deal. And so now she does all of our social media with Instagram, Twitter, and it's a constant flow, a constant thing, and you're directly with the fans, and
that's the cool thing.
And on the personal Instagrams and stuff, and her personal Instagram is more people than our band one, which is weird, but it's a direct way to talk to all of them. They like her more than us.
You don't care.
Let's not mention the elephant in the room.
Nah, we're best friends, brother and sister, and he's me, I'm him. Like it's
all good.
So last year you released your 6th album on my birthday, actually. So thank you very much. So how would you say that the albums have progressed your sound since the first one leading up to the last one, or the latest one?
I think we both think up until Blood, we were just we were writing and we were just doing things, just kind of trying to figure it out. But we didn't have an identity. We weren't really. I think we were doing cute stuff. Like my lyrics were funny, but
there's some really good stuff
is special.
In there.
Some of it's special into the light, and there's some songs that are special. But I think from Blood on is where we started. We started letting go of what anyone thought, and we started finding our identity and confidence, and really kind of seriously creating this thing. So.
We stopped caring what everybody thought. We always did what we wanted to do, but there was always this fear of just stepping outside of the box a lot. And when we were faced with that time when we just were like, it was do or die almost for us at the time, and we just said, let's do it, and let's do whatever we wanted to do. And at that same time, she was kind of like, I'm going to stop using a handheld mic, I'm going to start using a wireless mic and do props.
In the metal world, if you're using a wireless mic, I was so scared to do that. I'm like, they're gonna boo me in the beginning, but when I hit this thing, I'm like, when I had this liberating, I wanted to perform in a different way than everybody else, and I felt like I could do that if I was confident enough and powerful enough, and I was doing it for a reason. That was and so we did it, and it worked. But again, it took us kind of getting to this place where we didn't care anymore. I don't care if I should scream or sing or not wear this. We're just gonna do what we want. And when we started seeing that empowerment and everything growing, holy mackerel, we were like, okay, there's something to this. And from then on, we've just been.
Speaking of stepping out of the box, what's it like performing? It wasn't midday, but almost, and it's very bright because you have to kind of adapt. You can't control the light in the same way as in a dark room. Oh. What was that like?
With the sun. No, in the dream world, we get to play at nighttime back in the States for some festivals. Nighttime, we're a nighttime band. There's fog. We're crawling out of the graveyard.
The mood is set with the lighting, and there's a lot of theatrical stuff that happens. The lighting's kind of part of it,
Right.
So it is challenging at live shows. Sorry, go ahead.
And we have our show is all projection. So at the nighttime shows, when I come out, and I'm the witch with the hood, me and the girl are 2 witches, we're in a forest. There's a forest being projected on us. Or all in Burn, when I go, bah, the whole wall turns to fire. So, there's a lot of missing elements for us. But it's still powerful, and it's still special.
It's more raw.
And we got to pay a bit more dues here, and then we'll be given that show next,
Well, speaking of heavy metal, Lionel Richie He said when he was in Stockholm a few years ago that it's nice to perform today because you can see the audience.
You can see them. That's a true thing.
There's a lot of energy in that, and that's why festivals are special. Even though we can't do some of the stuff we would normally do, it's undeniable the energy of that many people coming at you, and you feel it too.
That's real energy, and they're all just like, rah, and you're like, rah, and then you're all colliding, and it also can be intimidating. I used to be intimidating by seeing the faces. Like I'd be like, I want it to be dark because I don't want to see, but now I've learned to like have this inner confidence where I walk right out and I'm like, look them right in the eyes, and like they can see that I'm not scared anymore. I think, and there's something to that.
What was it like overcoming that? Because obviously this has been a very male-dominant industry, and just going out and just say, F you, I'm here, we're doing this.
Yeah. I think that, when we started and we were doing Ozfest on one of our first tours, I had like a whole rally of like probably 300 people going, show us your tits, show. And I gave power into that. And I remember back then I used to I was worried, like, is the crowd gonna, and I'd go out there and I'd be like screaming at them, and like I had this whole other thing. But when we like liberated ourselves from other people's opinions and something shifted in us, and I became like confident, like, and I was like, I'm in charge of this show, like I'm in charge of what's gonna happen in that crowd. They're not in charge of me. And this is gonna be a beautiful meet in the middle, but like it starts with my energy. And when I started realizing that, it was like magic.
There was a guy out there who I've seen several years. He goes through like the roughest stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, he turned around to his friend and was like, that was amazing. I've never seen anything like it. And I was like, yeah.
That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this as I walked in. I mean, in the writing of song, the process, do you ever think of the stage number and write in that way, or is it always a stage number based on the song that you've written?
No,
well,
she does all the time.
But, yeah.
Where she's like, I can see it already, and we're basing a song around not the song has to be there first,
right?
Too,
Exactly.
But she's got the idea like brewing already before the first couple notes are even played. Some of the time,
yeah. Or sometimes it goes vice versa. Like sometimes we write a song and we don't think about the live at all, and when we come up with that magic and like that connection, then from there we build off of that. But then sometimes when we're going to write a song, I'll tell them I want this energy to be like if we were in a dark swamp and there was roots around us. Like if you had to write music to that feeling, like what would you write? And we'll start from there. So sometimes it goes back and forth.
Yeah. That classic Northern Florida sound of the swamp.
Yeah. What sounds come out of you and you think of that? There's something there.
Yeah. So tell me about Blood.
Okay.
Because that's the song people have been talking to me about when I've asked them about which band are you going to see? Oh, we're going to see them. All right, which song? That song. How did that come about?
Well, what we're talking about right now, Blood was one of those moments where it was like a catalyst of this whole thing of
it was a liberating moment.
Taking the power. And when we did Blood, at the time, three of our band members had quit on us. Our manager dropped us. Kevin Churko was still with us, our producer, and our label at the time, Century Media, was still with us. But we were kind of in this, what are we going to do?
We were like, for like 1 minute, we were like, are we breaking
quit?
up?
Yeah, did we quit? Because we were successful enough to get like 400, 500 people to come to a club. We weren't making any money. We weren't getting paid for our shows. We would just break even if we were lucky.
For a few hours, we were like, I think we're over.
Yeah,
it's
we
over.
were like going to quit.
And we were in a parking lot, I remember. And then I came in like, almost kicked the door up and we're not over.
And we went into the studio with Kevin. We wrote 2 songs, and the whole vibe was let's just let go. Let's just do something we've never done before.
Yeah.
Let's not be afraid. And we did Blood and another one. And when we heard Blood back, we were even like, we knew it was good, but we were kind of like confused. Like, what is this? But
that's what made it so exciting, though, because we were like, what is it?
It was so different.
We don't even know what we're listening to. But that's what I think everyone else also felt.
We sent it off to all these people, and a bunch of managers had declined us and stuff.
It's okay.
And they were like, instantly, it was a flash of, when can we meet you? We want to sign you guys. We want to come out to LA and off of that one song, man. And so we were instantly like, wow. And we signed with a great company after that, and everything just started to flow based off of Blood. And Blood just kind of, it was the song that really kind of shifted the gears for us in our career.
And were you asking about what it meant when you asked the question, or just the song in general?
No, song in general.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And the meaning, too, is just blood. And the whole album, the title of the album and everything, it was like blood of family and what the word blood, means and everything. That's cool.
That song was about like an inner conversation with myself.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
my own
But just
demons.
the name of the album is Blood too.
Yeah.
So you mentioned on stage, and you mentioned that several times before in live gigs, that turning the hate into love, the message. What do you want to project out? I mean, obviously you want to get people excited, but you also have the stage, literally, to make a difference.
Exactly. And we take that really seriously. We love to empower people. Like, we want people to listen to our music and feel empowered in themselves and feel like they can do anything and that they're beautiful. And we love our fans so much, and they're special, and a lot of them are tortured souls, and we can relate with the tortured soul. I can relate with that, and just coming from such a dark place. So I think that because we can like see each other, and that a lot of people who have experienced the darkness or get stuck in that, you can see and reflect that in somebody else. But the fact that we do choose to use that and turn that pain into power, and preach, and be and represent this empowerment, they feel it. And when we feel it from them, when they tell their stories to us, and we think it's important.
Well, it was an amazing show. What are your plans for the next few days?
We have 2 days off, and then we're Download Festival in the UK. That's our next few days.
And we're here in the UK and in Europe, for a month. So we got a bunch of festivals and a bunch of things
much
coming
more
up.
shows coming up.
Yeah.
Just living life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you very much for for coming by and just delivering and just singing whore.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll see you guys at some other time, maybe here or somewhere else.
Yeah, we'll be back for sure. Yeah, and make sure you check out our new Black Wedding. By the way, we have a video for it and everything with Rob Halford. It's just so special, and I just keep telling people pay attention to it because I love it.
Do it. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.